everybody is born with a little something extra, and sometimes they just have to find it. A little something extra is that superpower that every single one of us has inside that motivates us and drives our passion and makes us do the things that we do.
We're all on the same team. Let's think about how we can make that team as inclusive as we can.
For those of you listening to our podcast right now, you can also check out our video podcast at alittlesomethingextrapodcast.org.
This is our podcast with my mom, Nancy Gianni, and of course, me, the Gigi. And most of all, we have a producer named Franco Gianni.
A producer named Franco Gianni. Thank you. You are really loving having me on here lately.
Wow. When did that start happening? The sibling rivalry is starting, to fade a little bit, right?
I know. It's fantastic.
What is
I'm
that
really
all
feeling
about?
the love, Gigi. Thanks a lot for that. So yes, we are on A Little Something Extra.
Yes, we are.
Another amazing episode, and I think we have a really great one today, too.
I'm very excited about today.
I know.
You know that I am the picture queen. They call me paparazzi, but every time I take a picture, it's just on my phone or somewhere else. So
And when you post them, too, you do a pretty...
You know what? Here's what I want to say about that.
No, don't say it.
Yeah.
No.
My kids apparently like to make fun of me because when I post, thank you,
No.
Gigi, and that's why we like to let you be the favorite. See,
I am.
she doesn't make fun of her mother like my other children.
And she tells you when you're messing up on your Instagram posts.
That I happen to cut things off on Instagram, and I guess I'm famous for that. I never knew that. If people would tell me I was cutting off my pictures, I would have known that. But my children instead text to each other. She did it again. Instead of saying, "Mom, fix your picture," they just make fun of me.
Well, you would think after,
I don't.
being 20 years of running a multi-million-dollar non-for-profit and being able to spread all across the country and across
22
the
million to
world,
be exact.
There you go. You would think that you'd have some ability to be able to just post a picture on Instagram, but
Well.
Can we focus our podcast right now?
Sorry. We didn't get to talk enough. But yes, good. Thank you for putting us
Yes,
back on
we can
track.
focus.
Because I'm really excited because I love when we have episodes where we're able to talk with people that are self-advocates, parent advocates, family advocates that are just going out there and just showing the world what people with Down syndrome are capable of doing. And being able to create incredibly beautiful things. And we have a great duo here joining us today. So we are joined by Houston and Katie Vandergriff. Houston is a travel photographer, adventurer, and self-advocate. He's traveled all across the country, taking photos every stop of the way. Houston thrives on traveling to new cultures and meeting new people along the way. Through his extensive number of journeys, he's become an expert traveler and photographer. His mission through his photography is to inspire others to live life to the fullest and to live life with compassion. You can find Houston's travel on his social media, Downs and Towns, as well as learn more about his journey and, of course, find his catalog of beautiful photos. So let's hear it for Katie and Houston. How's it going, guys?
Welcome, guys.
Thank you. It's
thank
great
you.
to be talking to you guys. It's an honor.
Oh, it's such an honor.
The honor is ours.
Yes, it truly is. I was blown away by your work, Houston. Blown away. And we got to make sure that everybody listening out there needs to go take a look. So can you tell us a little bit about that? How did you get started in photography?
I'm little kid me to do like this is I'm kidding about cars and standards.
It's just been your talent, huh? You've had it since
Ever
you were
since
little?
a kid?
That's right. Yeah, he really started photography when he's a little kid.
Yeah, I'm a kid.
His teachers would send home homework assignments where he needed to show things about his life, like what's his house, his family, his dog, pets, whatever. And so Houston could take a disposable film camera with him wherever he went. And we would make those into small little booklets that he could use to communicate with others. His speech has always been an issue, as is common with Down syndrome and low muscle tone. And this allowed him to communicate, to show people things that he was doing, things about him, things in his life. And it's always been a means of communication for him. As he got older, it just really evolved into learning more, doing photography classes, and when he graduated from high school, we just decided that that would be a great career. I mean, what's cooler than a travel photographer, right?
Totally.
Right.
I mean,
That's
very
right.
little. That's amazing, though, that you were able to just, find your voice through your photos. I mean, a picture says 1,000 words, and if you're taking thousands of pictures, you're saying millions of words. So
That's right.
That's incredible, Houston. I mean, what you are doing, too, all the traveling that you guys have been up to, just seeing it through your social media has been absolutely incredible. So you said after high school, you guys started, taking on that lifestyle of traveling around the world, traveling around the country, traveling around the state. So can you guys tell us a little bit about those travels and where you guys have gone and some of the places that you love going to?
Yes. First of all, our family has always traveled. We homeschooled, and so my husband used to call us the road scholars instead of homeschoolers because we were on the road a lot.
Yeah.
And we always believed in hands-on learning, and that's a much more realistic way of learning for everybody, not just someone with Down syndrome. But it's so much better to be up in the top of the Eiffel Tower than to read about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So for us, for Houston and his learning style, he's very much a hands-on learner, and that's what started, I guess, mainly our travels. He did a 3-year program through our local university. They have a professional programs class. It was 160 hours of photography classes,
Oh my God.
a portfolio review, quite a few field trips and workshops.
So.
And when he was finished, he got a certificate of photography, which we learned so much from that. So many mentors locally for that. And then one of the teachers had a brother with Down syndrome. And the class we took was called Photography as a Business. And he had us each break up into small groups and come up with what made you unique as a photographer. And so Houston and I were sitting there looking at each other going, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, lots of people travel, lots of people take pictures. What is it that makes us unique? And the teacher came over and he was like, God, he's got Down syndrome. And it really encouraged us to embrace that, where it really hadn't even occurred to us before. And so that's where Downs and Towns was born. Because we do like to travel, and Houston has Down syndrome, so that was a very natural name. But it's turned into so much bigger than what we ever would have imagined. It's given us a platform truly internationally. I think in a 2-week period, we did maybe a dozen podcasts on 4 different continents.
Wow, that's awesome.
About Down syndrome and about what it can mean and what the potential is. And there's so many cultures around the world where Down syndrome is looked at as a curse on the family, or people are put away, even today.
Totally.
And in the more advanced countries, what we found is that they're curing Down syndrome by aborting babies with a Down syndrome diagnosis. And so it's really given us a passion to get out there and to showcase Houston and showcase his work and showcase the value. And I know you guys get that.
Totally.
It's what keeps you awake at night.
Yeah, it keeps you awake at night. Yeah.
We know they're drawing that line at the wrong place.
Right.
The people with Down syndrome are the most beautiful, loving, talented, kind people that you'd ever want to meet.
They have the most to teach us in life. That's what we say all the time, that they really are the teachers, not us.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And with Houston, with his photography, it's truly given him a voice on an international platform. And it transcends cultures, it transcends language barriers, and it's really turned into just a beautiful thing. It's put us in touch with so many amazing people, and plus we're having fun. Houston's been to 49 of the 50 United States, all but Alaska, and that's on our bucket list. I was born there, so I'm kind of embarrassed that he's not been there yet. He's been to 25 countries, and we have more that we're hoping to go to. We've just recently partnered with a travel company, and Houston is acting as a travel guide for international trips.
Wow.
We just back from a trip, a 10-day trip to Egypt.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a call soon with the company to work out a schedule for next year. And it looks like we're going to have Italy and Costa Rica and perhaps Australia and can't even remember where
Yeah,
else.
but-
Yeah,
But
you're losing count at this point.
so we're really enjoying showcasing his work, showcasing
Yes.
what he can do. But we're also hoping to use that as an opportunity, like with this travel company, to show that different experiences are open to everybody. You know, not just to somebody with an able body or the highest IQ. It can be
Absolutely.
for anybody. Anyone can benefit from the experience of travel or whatever the experience may be. And
Absolutely.
nobody should be limited because of anything, for that matter.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
Yep, anything you want to.
That's right.
That's
yeah.
exactly
That's
right.
That's right.
well, and beyond that too, I mean, also the fact that you're able to capture and show the world all the amazing things that are out there too. Not just going to them, but being able to really take something away from it and share that talent that you have with the world, and share the beauty of the world with them. And I think that is what's so unique about everything that you're doing, Houston. And I think it's just something that's an inspiration for so many others out there to be able to, lean into their passions and have families, help their child lean into that passion and to, explore new opportunities and new outlets.
100%. Honestly, I was blown away when I saw your photography. I was blown away. Franco's like, Mom, you got to look at this stuff. Because I followed you along, but I hadn't dug deep.
But that's not that. Like, your mom or kid, like, did have a that's you do have that every time. You do have that.
You're exactly
Hold on,
right.
yeah.
That your reaction kind of is the impetus for the next part of our story. Is Houston's always taken photographs,
And they struggle. Yeah.
but a lot of times people would see his photography and there's like, no way, no
No
way
way.
could a person with Down
Beautiful.
syndrome do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, like, hey, that's you be beside you like you, like mom and dad, like this there.
That's
And
right.
that's you don't have to have it like that.
That's
It's not
right. They
like
said
that.
you've got Down syndrome, you can't do that.
Oh, my goodness.
So we
You can
started
do anything,
taking
brother.
videos behind the scenes.
Yeah.
On the trip, we would take pictures of Houston with his camera in a hot air balloon over Egypt,
Yeah.
or Houston with his camera on
Yeah,
an
or
iceberg in
iceberg
Iceland.
island.
Right.
Or like, then they go to hotel like baby, and like patio, seven or something
That's
like
right.
that.
In
yeah.
Turkey, in a patio, in
Yeah.
Istanbul, wherever.
That's so
Whatever.
cool.
And so that really is what grew our social media, is almost the adversity, or I'm not sure what the right word is, the people
too.
coming along going, there's no way a person with Down syndrome would do that.
Right. And now you can
And then
show
we're-
them.
A lot of fun saying, oh, yes, they can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
And here it is.
Well, and I think it's because
Yeah.
he has such a special eye. I mean, it's truly a gift for any photographer, Down syndrome or not, to be able to shoot what he's shooting. I mean, it's really amazing stuff. And the way he captures it, I just thought, I looked at it, I was just blown away. And again, I know you got Down syndrome, brother, so you're the most talented person around. But I mean, for a photographer on any level, it's amazing. What you can capture is amazing.
Is there something that like you specifically, and Houston, the question for you, and Katie, please chime in wherever. When you are getting those photos, is there something that you specifically see every time you take a picture, or is it just you look at something, I need to take a picture of that and I need to gather that?
Well, thinking about like you're like a photograph all the time, like what, and it's part like that.
Yep. You
Basically
see it,
that.
you just want to take a photograph.
No, take a photograph.
You
Go
just
to
got
like
that eye.
get to like you got all like podcast like well podcast and tune of us like business like that like
Yeah, I think that, when you look at an artist, what you see in the art is not necessarily perfection, but a passion and an eye for beauty.
yeah.
And, we know that people with Down syndrome have extra doses of that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do see the beautiful things in people and in the world. And they do have an extra passion. They have to work extra hard for things because a lot of things don't come easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's the real secret ingredient for Houston's photography is he sees the beautiful part of people.
And
And
people like they like this event like are you a Jasmine? Yes, I am.
You're
So-
right for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it makes you see beautiful things. There's things in a beautiful way.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
too, yeah.
Hey,
And
And you
I think that's
capture
really
them
his
in a
secret
beautiful way.
sauce. That's
That's
what
the
helps
secret
make
sauce.
his
yeah.
photograph special.
I love that. Well, you can absolutely see it in every photo that you take. Everything
Yes.
that I've seen, you could just see that you found the essence of the beauty in all those different landscapes and all the different individuals that you're taking photos of, and you captured them perfectly. So amazing job there. And I'm excited to see more and more. But I do know that Gigi has been looking at me. She's like, come on.
I wanna
stop
ask some
talking. I have
questions."
questions that I have to ask. So Gigi, I'll hand the floor over to you. What do you got?
Houston, why do you love
Photography.
photography so much?
Well, I mean, kid, I mean, like, with like basically like that, because but like people have that, like you give mom, you're like a basically like that, it's about like that. All the time the parents would do so.
You're right. Yep. The photography helps you with memories
Yeah,
of
but it's like-
things,
You pick like your photographs and the business
Yep.
all the time.
places that you've been.
and
They
it's
last
been
forever.
and all the time is that. Yeah.
Yep. It's a special art that allows you to capture the beauty of the moment and keep that for a long time and share that with others. And there's not many other activities that let you do that.
Totally.
And so I think that really has
Yeah.
been a big blessing for us as a
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, when you're traveling to
It
all
is
those
beautiful.
countries, all those states, everything, it's a lot to take in. So you got to be able to use, photography to
And
remember it.
most people don't get that opportunity to go to those places. So to be able to live vicariously through his camera lens and go to be brought to all those amazing places is pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of the next step in our journey that's been so neat. And it's only because social media is there's a whole new idea of inclusion for people
Totally.
all around. And
Yeah.
that's the behind the scenes things that has really turned into a whole new avenue of advocacy for us, is because someone will see Houston again up in a hot air balloon or on a sailboat down the Nile.
Oh
Or,
yeah. So
you know,
give it like in a boat. What's up like this? And somebody like, oh, episode this.
Capture
Oh,
that
time.
photo.
yeah, and
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
see themselves in that, and they
Yeah,
may be
yeah,
able
yeah.
to see their child in that, and
Or like in a kid, like a
or their kid. Yeah.
the toy, like about stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's it, yeah.
gives a whole this new vision. It's kind of like the old marketing. When you'd see somebody drink a soda, you go, "Oh, hey, I could do that."
I can do that. Or like in a so like when I get deep, like a event like that. Like a kid, like
With the marketing.
I'm not gonna, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
and
yeah.
so it's kind of the same thing with the social media. It lets people see, hey, you know what? I can envision myself doing that, or I could take my kid on a trip, or I can buy my child a camera, or whatever it may be. It's good to see in real life people living life that
Right,
you
that's right.
might not be able to dream would be possible, but it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's been the big blessing for us
Yeah,
as a
that's true.
family, is to be able to share the possibility.
Do you have other brothers and sisters?
Yes. Well, I get to sisters now.
2 sisters?
Yes.
2 sisters, they're older.
Oh,
And they're married. So
One's
And they're
married,
married.
yep.
One's married, yeah.
And on a recent trip to Egypt, we all went. All 7 of us went on a trip.
wow.
And after 10 days together, we're all still friends. So that's really good.
I can understand that.
That's actually another cool part of our story. And when Houston was born, he's 25, and the girls were 1 and 2, and we
Wow.
were so worried as a parents. What's that going to do for our kids?
Like,
What?
mom, like, and then, like,
Yeah, moms and dads worry about stuff.
stuff.
And
And then I take a photo.
we shouldn't have worried,
Yeah,
because
right?
Houston's been the best thing that ever happened to our family.
That's right.
His sisters are involved in this whole journey. His one sister's done all the logo and website, and does a lot
Oh
of,
my, just like got calendar, like
does the
Everything.
calendars,
Yeah,
everything.
everything. Everything.
And
Love
so it's been a great journey for us to all go on together as a family, and that's again another part that we never expected, but it's
Never
been a
expected.
blessing.
I hear you. I actually just did a post about that today, talking about I wish I had seen Down syndrome in the way I see it today, back then when she was born, not only for Gigi, but for my other kids, and what it was going to do for them. So it is amazing. It is amazing the gift of Down syndrome and what it does for our families.
Yeah, and
Such a
bringing people
blessing.
together.
Yeah.
And you could almost pick out, and I don't mean to be against any other family, but you can pick out people that have
Yeah,
someone
definitely.
special in their life.
Yeah, like that.
Yes.
Someone who may have a sibling with a disability, or a family member or a close friend, something. It makes you a better person.
Yeah,
It makes you
100%.
appreciate
Yeah.
the beauty in things, and
Well,
the capacity of people, and the possibility and potential. And it changes you. I know
Totally.
us as parents, we've been changed. Houston sisters are changed.
Yeah, everything changed.
We're all changed for the better.
Yeah.
And you can see that. We've got a good friend, and she says she really feels sorry for someone who doesn't have a family member with Down syndrome.
Yes.
And
Well,
we just laughed about that, because who would have thought that 20 years ago that would be
And I would have to
our
love it
feeling.
too, like
right.
everybody. Well, like, it doesn't. I
Yep.
mean, it doesn't. Did you have your daughter like that?
I know. Yep. Your family loves you
Yeah.
because you have Down syndrome.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I do a lot.
Because
Oh,
you're
really? Yeah,
And because you're you. Well, that's kind of what, when we first started the Playhouses too, that it was that whole piece of exposing more people to individuals with Down syndrome and the incredible gifts that they are. So
And the
when
gifts
they
that they
come
bring.
in here, yes, and they become advocates. So they get that dose of love that you're talking about, and they see really what Down syndrome is all about. They see the low muscle tone. They see the struggles that they have. They have to teach their bodies to do what comes naturally to the rest of us, and they have a different appreciation, and they take that out into the world. It's such an important piece, because you're right. Our siblings are just an amazing gift because they've been exposed. So the more people we can expose, so what you guys are doing, what we do at Gigi, is just such an important piece in really fostering more acceptance in this world. And that's, what would you say, through education, or what is your acceptance through?
Oh, acceptance through understanding.
Through understanding.
Yeah, through understanding and
Yes.
exposure comes just true acceptance.
Yeah. And I think what you're doing, Houston, you just have such an incredible gift, in such an incredible talent, and showing it to the world is really helping you be a leader in the Down syndrome community, because you have a gift that many typical people don't have. Really, I mean, most typical people don't have an eye like you do. So you are pretty amazing, brother. You are amazing.
Yeah, you're showcasing to the
Yeah.
world what people with Down syndrome can do.
Well, what we have found is that there's so many of us.
Yeah.
There's so
Yes.
many of us that for a long time the families worked in isolation, and nobody really had a strong enough voice to make a difference.
Totally.
But we met a woman in Scotland whose son is 50, and she said when he was born that they were basically just going to take him. She had to fight to get them to let her take him home from the hospital.
Right.
And so she founded the Down syndrome support group in Scotland, because she said, surely there's more people like me. And, 50 years ago, that was a hard battle, and she was fighting it alone. But today we have the connectiveness that if each of us do our part,
Totally.
then we have so
100%.
much of the world that we can cover together. And we
Yes.
can, we can share your story of Gigi's Playhouse, and you can share about Houston and the photography. And, there's athletes and actors and models and
Absolutely.
advocates and speakers and authors.
Yeah,
And
too.
I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
It's true.
And if we get a big enough snowball rolling, then hopefully nobody can ignore it.
Yes.
And nobody can use that as an excuse to assign a value or a worth on somebody's life because of a diagnosis.
Absolutely.
Amen. Yeah, it's so true. And I think that, you guys are a perfect example of the people in the Down syndrome population and their families, putting voices out there.
Yes.
And I think that social media has been such a good outlet, especially lately. I think people with Down syndrome are finally getting the recognition that they deserve, and the exposure. And I think that understanding of really what they bring to the table is finally coming to fruition. And I think people are starting to see it. And it's through platforms like what you guys have created and so many others out there. And that's why I'm happy that, on here we are able to highlight them. Anyone that is out there doing that. So it's just, really an honor to be able to talk with you guys and be able to, see the story that you guys are bringing every day to the world.
And the honor is definitely ours, because, again, the more we put our stories out there, the more we have our voice out there, the more than, we don't want people with Down syndrome to be marginalized. but we also don't want them to be eradicated.
Right.
No.
And
I think
it's
so.
truly a matter of life and death at this point. And what they're using the technology for advancement, all the early intervention and all the medical factors that are going into treating people with Down syndrome and some of the medical issues, they're using that same thing, the same medical pieces to make decisions of the life and death.
Absolutely.
And we just think that's wrong.
Mhm.
And so, we want to yell to the top of our lungs, no, stop. That's not the right way.
Right.
Um,
Well, I appreciate
we-
that you're out there doing that. I really appreciate that you guys are out there and using your platform for more change because we need it, and for more awareness because we need it. We've
And the
been,
fact that you guys are taking that on a global level too.
yes.
I mean, the United States, we're doing pretty good when it comes to. I mean, there's definitely work to be done,
Well,
acceptance and
I wouldn't say.
advocacy, but better than other countries. But the fact
Yes.
that you guys are so international and taking that to a global stage is really awesome.
Well, just recently, Houston had one of his images that he had taken in Iceland. And you guys are
Oh,
probably
of
familiar,
course.
but
Yeah.
Iceland
I
has
saw
a
those.
100% abortion rate
Yes.
for a Down syndrome
They want to
diagnosis.
eradicate Down syndrome. That was
Yeah.
their words. The parliament actually used those words to eradicate Down syndrome.
Yes,
Yes.
And so he had an image that was on exhibit in Portugal, in Lisbon, Portugal, recently. And it's part of a collection of art called Criticized by Creating. And it is for artists, curated by a curator in Italy, who are making stands with their art to showcase something
Wow.
that is, a social wrong. And so that was a
Wow.
really
Beautiful.
big deal. And it's actually on exhibit now in a virtual space. And we just want to get that word out as much as we can. Again, you're drawing the line in the wrong place.
Right.
You're doing the wrong things with the technology you have.
Absolutely.
And we're trying to showcase that, there's beauty in every person, and every person has value and worth. And especially people with Down syndrome are the very best.
100%. I'm all right there. Right?
It's amazing.
Oh, Gigi.
I
Okay.
think that EJ is waiting for my question.
Oh, sorry.
Gigi's
Oh,
waiting to ask her questions.
Okay.
Sorry.
get it in there, girl.
Ask him.
What is your favorite picture you have taken?
Oh, what is the favorite picture you have taken?
I would do a Las Vegas, but I think that all the time. So I'm not looking.
Did you say Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
That's
I'm talking about.
Houston was invited to be the photographer at a travel conference
Yeah.
in Las Vegas.
Very cool.
That's cool.
And the owner of the travel company has a son with Down syndrome.
Yes.
And it's really fun with Down syndrome. When Houston was born, the geneticist said that they wear it on their face. And, I came home and cried for 2 days for that because I thought that was an awful thing for her to say. And, I was devastated. But what she really meant is that's a real benefit, because you see a person with Down syndrome and you understand that they have Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes a person that may have autism or just any kind of other disability, they may be blind or deaf, it's hard to look visually and see that that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have had so many opportunities for us as a family and
Yeah.
Houston as a photographer. When someone is trying to show that they're being inclusive and trying to show that they truly are embracing diversity, it's really nice because Down syndrome, again, is visual.
Yes.
And it allows public to say, or see, this is what's going on. This is what we believe in. And it's been fun to get to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful outlook. I love that.
Go ahead, Gigi.
You got one more?
Hurry, one more.
I'll have 3 more.
Well, use this to.
Yeah.
If you had one message to the world, what would it be?
Ooh, I love that's my favorite question when you ask it.
So
You had-
that's a lot.
Yeah. One message to the world, what would it be? Cross the rest out.
What would your message be to the world?
I do remember, so I have that do a long time and take pictures about where I was in. I would do it like that. So
Oh,
You love to travel the world and take pictures?
Yeah,
you
so-
are.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Every person has a unique set of gifts and abilities, and especially people with Down syndrome are all built obviously unique,
Yeah.
one of a
Unique.
kind.
yeah, they get what I
And I guess my advice to parents is find what that is. You want to do that with all of your children,
And go ahead, tell them. You're good for them like that.
especially
And then
your
like
children
this-
with Down syndrome.
Like,
Yep.
and like, person like, question like, oh, the pain. They'll have that everything again.
Yep. You'll
Right.
have questions. You'll have desires. You'll have things that you want to do.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And as parents, it's kind of our job to figure out what that might be. What's the areas of strength that we have, and to build on those.
Absolutely.
And in our case, it's been great for us as a family because we all like to be a part of it. So
Right.
we've even dragged my husband in on some of our crazy trips.
Oh, God, yeah. And we do.
Well, our show is called A Little Something Extra. So I'd like to ask you, Katie, what do you think is your A Little Something Extra? What drives your passion? What makes you who you are? Oh, you like that
Yeah,
question,
you did.
Houston?
I think for us, and we do love the name of your show.
Oh,
We've actually always said that about Houston, that he's the guy with something extra.
yes.
And so I think for us, the real change and the real magic in our family has been an extra chromosome.
Oh,
We've all benefited from that. It's
awesome.
made us live life more intentionally.
Mhm.
It's made us not take things for granted. It's helped us to, again, see beauty and benefit in everything and everybody. We know that God gave us Houston as a special gift, and we've been so blessed by that with our family and our community. And I guess the something extra that we try to give every day is we try to take that gift, not take it for granted either. We don't take a day for granted, but we also don't take that gift for granted either. And so we
Absolutely.
want to share with others as much as we can that there is beauty and there is value in every person. And it may take longer to drag it out of some people. It may take a little more effort. It may take therapies. It may take surgeries,
I used to do it.
Right.
whatever,
Oh, them like very good.
like brain surgery.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
There may be, your journey may be different than you thought it would be. But again, I just think our something extra as our family is an extra chromosome that has
I love it.
resulted in a real life
A
purpose for
life
us.
that you never knew was going to happen. That's what I love about it. And I love what you say about, finding that little something extra or finding his path. I mean, everybody is born with a little something extra. Sometimes they just have to find it. And that's really what the show is all about, is looking at people who have found their something extra and sharing that with other people so they know it's in there. It's inside of you. Sometimes you just need to be inspired. So I know that he's inspired a lot of people today, and I'm excited about that. And now I know that Gigi was excited about doing her tips. Do you mind sticking around while Gigi does her tips?
We would love to hear
I
the
never-
tips.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right,
Gigi, what do you think about that? Are you ready to do some tips? Uh-oh.
Jesus say tips.
I did say tips.
Tips. Creating contact.
He liked that one.
Your tips are on creating content.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
I think that they'll be able to relate.
Capture as much as you can. You will never know what you must catch.
Capture as much as you can.
Okay.
You'll never know what you might catch.
True.
Okay.
What speak to some people might not to others, but that's okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you what makes you happy? That's all that matters.
Do
True.
what makes you happy. That's all that matters. Love that.
Try mixing it up once in a while.
Try mixing it up. Okay.
It's cool trying new things.
Nice.
It never hurts to be camera ready. Sometimes what you least expect can make the biggest impact.
Sometimes what you least expect can make the biggest impact. Nice.
100%. I think that's what you found.
Those are some good tips.
Absolutely. Great tips, Sheej.
Those are great tips. And actually,
Yeah,
if you
so-
just apply those
There's never about that.
to photography,
That's right. Yeah.
they even apply there too.
100%. Yes, I loved them. Thanks,
Absolutely,
Jeej.
I'm sure.
Well, we're so excited to have you on the show. We are so grateful that you guys took the time to be on here and opened up my eyes, because I hadn't seen, I saw your journey of going to different places, but I really didn't dig into your photography. up until I found out you were coming on. So I would really, really ask people to get on there and look at the photography. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning. Have you ever shot people, or do you just do mostly? I didn't see any.
Landscapes.
Yeah, landscape. I see the landscapes and stuff. Are you good at shooting people and your family and stuff like that too?
Yes, I people have good at everything.
Everything. Oh, I can see it, brother.
He took a portrait photography class, and he's done some portrait and people work.
But the
We
land-
generally don't sell that like through his website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I want everyone to get on there. The website. What is the website?
What's your website?
Towns. .com.
.com. Downsandtowns.com.
Downsandtowns.com. So we'll make sure to put that in the bio too.
Yeah.
We're posting this, and then also
Awesome.
we'll put the link across too once we make the episode. But
Awesome.
yeah, what you guys have in there is unbelievable, and you guys sell a lot of the art that he's doing as well, right? On the website.
Yes, I do have that ever.
That's
We
awesome.
do. We've partnered with a print company in England, and we offer limited edition prints for Houston's work. We also have some photo things, coffee cups and
Yeah.
calendars and things like that. The biggest thing that we've gotten into recently has been digital collectibles, which are called NFTs or non-fungible tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's had been very successful in that community. That's kind of another place where we've found friends
Yeah.
there. And, when people are looking at diversity also includes disability.
Yes.
And
of course.
We've been part of several different artist groups and collections that have showcased his photography there. So, we've had a blast with all of that.
I mean, it makes sense to me because the art is so great that it needs to just be put out there, and I'm so happy that you guys are doing that and allowing people to be able to see it and be exposed to the amazing stuff that you're doing, because it really is an inspiration.
Yes.
And it kind of gets me thinking too. So we have, a couple different things. I would love to be able to kind of just work in showcasing your art too. We have like a magazine that we're working on right now when it comes to just individuals with Down syndrome that are just doing extraordinary things in the world. And I feel like it would be awesome if we could be able to just work together on trying to figure out a way that we can include you guys in that
Yes,
as well. 'Cause
I would-
Your art needs to be seen. Man.
Your art needs to be. That's a great idea, and I love that flamingos. Yeah, we can do some cool stuff. So we will be in touch for sure. But thank you guys so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for showing the world your potential and everything that you could be doing. And Katie, you as a rockin' mom who's just out there making it happen, girl. Like, thank you, God. You guys are a great team, and we were so blessed to have you today. Keep shining, keep spreading the word. The stuff you're saying is very, very important. If we could ever help in any way, know that we're here for you. You got us in 60 Gigi's Playhouse locations, and then our virtual platform that serves 86 countries too. So we are everywhere out there. We will help you do whatever you can. We love you guys, and thank you for being on the show.
You like that?
Yeah, we'll
You like all that?
That'd be great.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys.
We
You were
appreciate
amazing.
You guys joining us.
Everybody is born with a little something extra, and sometimes they just have to find it. A little something extra is that superpower that every single one of us has inside that motivates us and drives our passion and makes us do the things that we do.
We're all on the same team. Let's think about how we can make that team as inclusive as we can.
For those of you listening to our podcast right now, you can also check out our video podcast at alittlesomethingextrapodcast.org.